Guys, what's happening? It is Joe, Schmo Daddy, whatever you want to call me. Anyway, I want to give you guys a little forward to the next video I'm going to be doing. It's probably going to be maybe a 2-3 part video because I had a pretty exciting, sort of an exciting day yesterday. It's kind of like one of those things that collectors dream about happening, you know. Found some incredible stuff that had been forgotten about. That wasn't really mine. It was actually my father's stuff that he had tucked away and forgotten about. So, anyway, I'll give you a little backstory on it. Anyway, I guess about 1967, my dad's parents had passed away. They both actually died within a week of each other because they both had lung cancer, which is really, really crazy. They died within a week of each other. So my dad went to live with his cousin, which would be my first cousin removed, I guess is what you call it. Anyway, my dad brought all his stuff over there. You know, he was a collector. My dad subscribed, or we bought every Marvel book. Not everyone, but he would go, buy like say Incredible Hulk or buy all these books. And huge baseball card collector, collected magazines. And when he ended up moving with his cousin, he brought all this stuff with him. And a lot of it got tucked away in storage and just in her basement. And over the years, about the mid 80s, when we moved to another city after my dad got married and all that and moved out, he still had some stuff stashed there. And over the years, he'd grab some of it, and there was a time during the 80s I know my dad got some of those baseball cards and he had sold them, maybe to make some money, or even some of the comic books. I know he let a collector look at them like in the mid 80s, early 80s, and they picked through, kind of cherry picked through a lot of the stuff. So most of the real key stuff, the real good stuff, has been taken. But I'd always thought in the back of my mind that there would be stuff still stashed away at my cousin's house, and my dad had thought that too. And believe it or not, like just a couple weeks ago, he got a call from her, and he hadn't talked to her for years, and she said that she had found some books and some boxes, and actually a big trunk or a big chest full of mementos from from my grandma, which I never met because my grandma died in 1967 or 68. And so he was real excited. So yesterday was a day that we had decided to go and dig through all the stuff and check out what was there. So we get to my cousin's house, and I go down to the basement, and we find this big, huge chest. It's, I don't know, it's about 5 feet long. It's a couple feet, it's at least a foot wide, and it's completely full of mostly like letters and cards, even some of my dad's toys from when he was a child. There was a few things we'd found, nothing that piqued my interest that much. Don't get me wrong, it was interesting, and that we found some really cool stuff. We even found like my grandfather's military flag that was, I believe it was one of the flags, the fold in the triangle, because he was in World War II. And we also found lots of pictures. We found an old sewing machine, all kinds of crazy stuff, even some old desks and stuff. So anyway, we're picking through them. We're getting the stuff up to the garage because we're getting ready to put it in my car. Some of the stuff would fit, some of the stuff we're going to go back and get. But I'm getting there, and I'm in Susie's garage, which is my cousin. And I'm looking over there, and she's like, "Oh yeah, there's a bunch of books over here, And I was like, "Okay, some books." So we go and look at the books, and next to the books, I see a couple comic books sticking out. Like I see something like this thing right here, Gomer Pyle, just sitting there. It's not in the greatest of condition. And here's just an example of some of the stuff. But anyway, I didn't really find anything super major awesome as far as the comic books go. But the real awesome thing that I found was underneath the comic books was a box, and it was full of 1965 Topps baseball cards, unsearched. My dad had every single team, little rubber band wrapped around it, multiple copies of every freaking card. We're talking, and I'm going to show you guys what I got. I did get some good comic books, don't get me wrong, I'm not disappointed. But it was more about just finding stuff that had been tucked away for like 40 years that no one had remembered. My dad actually, if he would have known about this stuff like 20 years ago, he would have already picked through it, and we probably would have sold it, and we wouldn't be talking right now about this stuff. But it's kind of a neat story. It's kind of like a collector's dream. So I just want to give you a little forward. I know this is kind of some rambling bullshit, but here we go. Okay, guys, it is me, Schmo Daddy. I'm going to start this massive little unbelievable haul of random stuff that came from my dad from when he was probably about 15, anywhere from 13 to 15 years old. So as I told you guys in the backstory earlier, a lot of this stuff was, we didn't think too much of this really existed because we thought he'd already picked through all his comic books and all this stuff. So I'm just going to kind of show you the type of stuff that I found. I will show the baseball cards later because I just kind of, I know most of you guys subscribe to me are into the comic books, so I'm gonna get the comic books in first, and if you guys choose that you don't want to see the badass baseball cards I got, you guys guys can just do whatever. So anyway, I did find a Gomer pile. You know, as to show you, some of these books have been sitting in a box, and some of the corner was bent for like 40 years. So it was just random right there. So that was there, and this was like one of the first books I saw. I saw an X-Men number 26, and the cover was on it, but the cover was just completely tattered and shambles. So if you can tell, this is not, there's no intrinsic value or anything on this one. It's pretty much really just ready for the trash bin, to be honest with you. There's not much to it. But I want to show you guys. And this one kind of caught my eye. I saw this and I was like, damn, that's a shame. Look at that. So, you know, not everything was, you know, like a dream, you know. We found a silver. This is a real big shame, too. This is a real bad shame. Fantastic Four number 50. I saw this one sticking out there and I was like, oh, Dad, what happened to this? Second appearance of the Silver Surfer. It's like, I'm glad I already have this book anyway. The books I just showed you, I actually have copies of anyway, you know, buying from my eBay or whatever. But so yeah, here's Fantastic Four number 50. It's completely readable, but obviously the cover is not too good. There's a little piece kind of chipping off of the cover. So yeah, not so good. But don't get me wrong, some of these are in great shape. Some of them are. Here's Action Comics number 343, like we didn't know existed. Didn't know we had this. So it's not too bad really. It's just it's been folded for like 40 years, so it's got a nice little, almost like what you like a subscription crease, but it can be flattened out, you know. But you know, this is a free book, one I did not have. Very happy to grab. Actually, here's an example of a nice book that we found. I already have this book too, but look, from 1966, I believe, December, Fantastic Four number 57. Looks very nice. I can show you. See, the thing is, because these things have been in a basement, so there's going to be a little bit of foxing in them. If you look at the top, I don't know if the light's good enough that you can see. There's definitely been. So I don't know, this one, if I was to grade it, I would put this probably at least a 6 or something. But it's a little browning on it though, you know. But hey, sharp corners though. I mean, if I would have seen this as a child, this would have been mangled by now. Haven't had time to bag and board a lot of these. Some of the better ones I bagged and boarded, but okay, I found an Avengers 34. It's not too bad, not too bad at all. I think I have this book in my collection already as well. Well, the back, you know, you can tell that it's been exposed to maybe a little bit more. You gotta smell these things. They smell musty, like they just came out of, and you can tell they've been in storage forever. God knows the heat and the weather these things have been through, and just even still be intact is incredible. Avengers number 33. I don't think I have this one in my collection. You can tell it's a Don Hick artwork. But it looks like the back cover has a nice nasty tear on it, but I'm still gonna bag and board that baby and stick it with my other Avengers books because, you know, it's badass. I love it. Found a Metal Men number 22. Truly, I didn't expect to find any comic books. I mean, in the back of my mind I was hoping, but you know, it was just hoping. I was ready to walk out of there empty-handed, but oh, wow. I'm still shaking. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. I'm supposed to be working right now, but I'm too excited to go through this shit. So I end up calling in. Hope my boss isn't watching this video. Alright. Marvel Superheroes number 1. I already have this in my collection as well, but this one's not a bad copy at all. It survived pretty well. It's got a little bit of, it's kind of like spine, I don't know how you'd call it. Sometimes it's probably due to moisture, honestly. It's not bad. It's not like it's real warped or anything, but it's just got that, like it's just been exposed to the weather. You know, it's got some foxing, so, and it smells so musty. Oh my god. Ugh. It's like, here's a pretty cool book. I love these. My dad was into collecting gold keys, and I still have an affinity for gold key because of that. So, Boris Karloff. What number is this one? It's a pretty nice one though. Number 13. It's got a little tear on it, but I love it. It's so presentable. It's so great. I can't wait to read that. I was very, very, very happy to find this. Look at this. Here's a Twilight Zone, and I love these. I don't have any of these, so it's very, very fucking cool to have this. Not in bad shape. Probably close to fine. You know, it's just got a little bit of, just because it's been sitting in a box, and it's got a little mangling, you know, it's got, okay, there's a little bit of browning. Maybe might be knocked down a little bit more. Just, here's a dirty Avengers number 31. You can just feel the grit on it. It's just gritty. It's got like a dust layer on it, you know. It could use a little cleaning. So Avengers 31. Didn't even know I was going to get this book. Not in the greatest of condition. Probably good minus or something, just because you can just feel it. It's just dirty. It is a dirty book. Got a nice little tear. You can look at the interior and tell you what kind of, you know, it kind of feels like there's been moisture on it. You know, it's just this was probably one of the ones that are sitting on the top. You know, it's kind of dirty. Then I found a kind of a dirty Hogan's Hero book. In fact, hang on one second. Let me see what number it is so I can tell you. Number 4. Looks like it's got water damage. Probably has rusted staple. Yeah, the bottom staple's rusty. Used to be a white cover, but not so white. But hey, it's something I didn't have. It's definitely neat. I never watched Hogan's Heroes. The back has some like foxing shit going on. Here's a pretty cool book to find. Not in too bad a shape, just with a little crease in the corner. Superman number 191. But how cool is it to find a book that has been stored for 40 years that used to belong to your father, you know, and he just is generous enough to give it to you, you know, and you can I'll keep this forever, you know. I'll never get rid of this book. I'll be like, wow, this is from my dad. Very cool. Got to give a shout out to my dad for giving these to me, man. He doesn't collect anymore. He's just like, you can have these, do what you want with them. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. War Stories Combat with a nice bin, because you can tell this has been sitting in a box, and it was just, a lot of the books were like this. You see what I'm saying? This is how they were. So there's going to be a bins on some of these. Not all of them, but some of them got, and there's some of them that are really fucked. I'll show you just to show you what I'm talking about. So, number 23. I'm not really a war comic book type person, but definitely pretty neat. I like the covers, though. Here's a Metamorpho that looks like it's been exposed to the elements. The Element Man must have got a hold of it. So you can see that it's got some moisture stuff. It's not bad, I mean, but it's just kind of, yeah, there's the rusty staple on it, you know. But hey, I'm trying to figure out who the artwork is on that by looking at it. It kind of might be Ross Andrew, but you know, some of you DC buffs like Shannon, Solid Forest T. Ben knows. Anyway, I have a few Metamorphos in my collection already. I'm going to have to, this is going to be part 1. I'm going to stop this first. Okay, guys, I'm drinking coffee, and I got a lot to show you. In fact, you can probably see that Mickey Mantle statue back there that's original, missing the bat, but oh my god, I couldn't believe I found that. Alright, here is Ghost Stories. I don't know what number, but you can tell this one's kind of fucked. This one's kind of borderline if I want to keep it or not. You know, it's like, it's just, I think I will keep it, but it's just, it's sad how bad it is, you know what I mean? It just makes you sad. I love these books too. I would have totally, I'm still going to probably bag and board it because I'm weird like that, even though it probably doesn't deserve it, but see, look at it. Just to give you the example. Whoa, this one's been through the ringer here. Sad, these 2 ghost story books I got, I love these books, and they just happen to be like probably on top, you know, they were exposed to the worst. Very cool cover. I have to look for another one of these because I like these, you know. And so I'm showing you some of the bad ones. I'm getting the bad ones over with, you know, like this one's terrible. Like, I love The Phantom, and this is a book I would totally have been like, yes, but see, it's not too good, really. Looks like somebody wiped their ass with it. No, it's just been exposed, and it had moisture at one time. You know, it's a sad, sad shame. We got Ripley's Ghost Story, number number 2. That's unfortunate because I like this book. The sad thing is, this book right here was stuck to a Twilight Zone book that was right on top of it. It was stuck, and I had to, you know, separate them. You know, I didn't have time to call the Smithsonian and see if they could get somebody over here, down here, to help me, you know, separate these without damage. So I just had to do it the old school way of just ripping them apart. But you know, it's a shame because you can tell it was not a bad condition book except for the bends, you know. But sorry if I'm not sure. I actually using the tripod for once. The ironic thing is, the day before we were gonna go look at these books, I had this book right next to my bed, and I was reading this because I already own this book myself. I have Marvel Collector's Item number 5, and I was reading because I was really wanting to read some old Hulk, and I was actually kind of interested in that Puppet Master story. I'm looking to get that original book, but my dad actually had this in his collection, so you can tell it's bent. It'll still be kind of fixed. It could be in a bag and boarded, and it won't look too bad. Reprint of Strange Tales 114. Not in the greatest of condition, but then again. Alright, now I've got the rest of them bagged and boarded, and these are in better, most of them are in better condition, but there's still, you know, some stuff. Here's Tarzan of the Apes. I know Hippie loves these books, I'm pretty sure, and I know Captain Strangelove. This is probably up his alley. Let's see, I got a Ghostly Tales that unfortunately has some moisture damage. It even has a Steve Ditko story in it, I think. That's a shame, because I really love these books. I mean, I can't complain. What else do we get? Okay, I got a... what the fuck? Okay. Korak, the son of Tarzan. Not in bad. Sorry about that. I looked at one of my comic book bags, and I don't know how the fuck this happened, but there was a slug on one of my comic bags, and it just was distracting. First of all, I don't know how a slug got in my house, but anyway, so to move on, I don't know. Maybe it came from that basement. No. Alright, here is Thor 131. This is a book I had, and I found it, and it's actually not in bad condition. It's probably at least fine plus, and very cool. Can't believe my dad had that, and he saved it. Found a Thor 132 in pretty good shape too. Easily fine condition, fine plus. I have this in my collection, but I don't think mine is this nice. Except it smells really nasty. Other than that, it's a nice book. Tales to Astonish number 85. This is a book that is right up my alley, and I think I already have it in my collection, but maybe not that nice. Found a Tales to Astonish number 84. See, I bagged and boarded these. These weren't bagged and boarded, trust me. They were all mismatched, slopped this way and that way. I'm lucky. Actually, these stacks of marbles were all together, and I think that kept them in nice shape. They were stacked to each other, and believe it or not, nothing really transferred to the other book, and there wasn't really major damage. They were actually a nice stack of these. Were just kept them. I think it kept each other in nice condition over the years somehow. I mean, all things considered. Tales to Astonish 79. Very, very fucking cool to have this. I don't think I have this book. And wow, what better way to get it? And here's a funny one, because here's Tales of Suspense number 83. And this is a book that I have in my collection, but it is the worst condition Tales of Suspense book that I have of the Iron Man. I really wanted to upgrade it. And this one probably is an upgrade from what I have, even though it, you know, has some browning and has a tear right here. The one I have is a turd. So this one is definitely better than the one that I have. So thank you, Dad. I'm very, very happy with that. Here's a pretty nice one I found. King size annual Thor number 2 in pretty nice condition. Just has a few little stresses, and you got to see the corners. I mean, it's like the right side of the book is just, if you were to, man, it's too bad there just wasn't like foxing and stuff on these books, because some of these are nice. I mean, it's just the sharpness of the corners. I mean, you don't see that very often when you find a collection like that. There's some stress on the, you know, I think just because they've been moved at one time, I think there's just a little bit of spine stress, but nothing to cry about. I'm not losing too many tears. Alright, here was a great one to find. I found a Fantastic Four number 53. Yeah, second appearance of Black Panther. It's probably about good plus condition, but no tears shed again on that one. Okay, well, one of the nice books that I had, I couldn't find, so I had to stop the camera real quick. I'm very professional at this, you know. All right, here's one not so good, but probably the last shitty book I showed you. This is actually the one that was stuck to the back of that the Ripley's Believe It or Not book. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, found a F Troop. I have no idea what the F Troop is. I guess I missed that, even though I usually love shows from the 60s. I'd have no idea. Some of you guys could tell me what this is. I'm only 34 years old, and I usually know most of that stuff, but hey, I think I've heard of it after I've heard the name. But alright, found a Ghostly Tales. I have this one in my collection, but had to pick mine up at a comic shop. But you know, my dad had it all these years. He didn't tell me about it. Tales of the Green Beret number 1 was sitting there. This was actually the book that I saw on the top, and it didn't get damaged too bad. It just got some, you know, I guess you call it foxing on the cover, unfortunately, just because it was exposed. And the last comic book I showed, which was a pretty decent one, a pretty nice one to have for my collection, one I needed, and one that I couldn't believe I was going to get for free, and probably in the nicest condition of all the books that I got, and probably the one I wanted to be in the nicest condition to be, except for the Fantastic Four 50. So, here's an X-Men number 25, and easily fine plus condition, and just was not in very sharp condition. I mean, beautiful cover, smells like shit, but very nice book. There's minor foxing on the interior of the covers, very sharp. You can look at the corners. So my dad had bought this in 1966, stacked it up with a bunch of other books, sent it to someone's basement. It's been moved around once or twice, been in the heat, you know, the moisture and everything, and still survived. Incredible. So I guess it's time for me to show some of these baseball cards I got. Before I get to the baseball cards, I wanted to show you this this Mickey Mantle statue, which is in its own right is probably one of the better finds I had. We found this in that cedar chest. Here's a it is a Heartland Plastics Mickey Mantle statue from late 50s, early 60s, and apparently this thing does go for a lot of money. It's probably worth well in $100 to $150 in this condition. It's pretty nice. It does not have the bat, which, to be honest with you, the bat could be in that cedar chest. I mean, I don't know. I have to look through all these papers and dig through, put on my gloves and go through all this crap. There's so much notes and letters and pictures and stuff, and the bat might still be around, so I haven't given up hope that I don't have the bat. So you could always buy a replacement bat on eBay. But the real thing I wanted to show you guys, those who care about baseball. In fact, I'll give some shout outs to my fellow baseball card collectors out there that I know about that are on the YouTube community. We got old Tom Hippie. I mean, he's a huge baseball fan. Full Killer. I know he loves his baseball. He's a huge baseball collector. I can't think of anyone else I can think of here. Oh, I know there's some others. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Comic Hoarder might be into baseball. I think he is a little bit. Oh, there's others, but I know Space Baby was. He sent me some baseball cards, so he at least appreciates the cards, whether he collects anymore or not. But anyway, so comics are probably my main love, but baseball cards are right there at number 2, and they used to be number 1. And for me to find a box of unsearched 1965 Topps cards is incredible. So I went through and I put them in all the real key cards, the ones that I had, what you say key, the real valuable ones, the nice, the Hall of Famers, the stars, put them in top holders and plastic. So anyway, just to give you an example, some of these are anywhere from in good plus condition all the way to fucking close to gem mint. Some of these very well could be gem mint condition, and it's unbelievable. So without further ado and more of my bullshit, we'll just get to it. And I'll try to tell you what I got here. Here we got a Harmon Killebrew. Pretty nice. Some of these have a little bit of a wave to them because some of them, not all of them, but they were just, you know, the way they were exposed to the weather over the years. They were in a basement, but some of these didn't do so well. But some of them did amazing. And the ones that were amazing are the ones you can just, it's like, this is like the stuff dreams are made of for collectors. For me, I mean, this is a dream, a come true. I can't believe it. Yogi Berra. I don't even have a Yogi Berra card in my collection. Can you believe that? So here's the worst condition card I probably got, and it's probably the one I would have wanted a lot. I love Casey Stengel, so my very first Casey Stengel card, but it's got a little bit of a kind of like, I don't know how you, probably moisture damage or something. Here's a pretty nice card. Here is a Phil Niekro rookie card. Incredible. One of the great knuckleball players. Oh my god. I mean, I couldn't even sleep very well last night because I was so excited finding this shit. It's just incredible. I mean, I can't believe it. I virtually have a complete 1965 Topps set. I mean, easily. I'm missing a few of them. Here is Elston Howard, and probably a PSA 7. I mean, here's another one. Bob Gibson. I think I only had one Bob Gibson, unfortunately, but I can't shed too many tears. What a beautiful card. Wow. Love Bob Gibson. Alright, here's a Mickey Mantle World Series card. It had a little damage. It's got a little wave to it. It's got a ding right there, so it's not really in a great condition because of it, but still very cool. Very happy to have that. So, oh yeah, the other one that was kind of damaged, that I was disappointed. I mean, look, here's one of the gem cards from the set, you know. Steve Carlton's rookie. So it's not in good shape at all. It has like a wave to it, unfortunately, and it's kind of like a dent on the edge. So it's just sad. I mean, it's sad that this one is bad, you know, but you know, you can't win every battle here. So hope you guys can see the glare. Anyway, it's Steve Carlton's rookie card. Probably no better than good condition, or possibly even worse. Here's a nice one. Catfish Hunter's rookie card. Not too bad. It's probably at least very good. It's got a little bit of a slight kind of a wave to it on the edge, so it might be not as good as some of them. Alright, a real sharp Whitey Ford. I mean, sharp. Nothing wrong with it, really. Just sharp corners. Alright, another Whitey Ford. Sharp as hell, so there's no sense really showing it. But alright, here's one for you guys that like stuff. Here's a Roger Maris. Pretty nice looking Roger Maris. Pretty fucking nice. Another one, really a real white and bright Roger Maris. That one even had a little bit of grit to it, but this one's just real nice. 65 Maris. Can't believe it. Oh man, looky here. Wow, my dad. Something else here. Look at this. Oh my god. Not only one, 4 Joe Morgan rookie cards, and they're not in the greatest of condition because actually these, some of them, they're sharp corners and everything, but some of them had some I think, if I remember correctly, these had a little bit of a wave to them, so I don't know how that affects the grade, you know. When I say a wave, it's just, I don't know if the moisture kind of causes it to kind of curl a little bit, so I do have 4 Joe Morgan rookies, and, you know, you can't really cry about that, can you? So, I mean, oh, and this was super exciting for me. I'm the biggest Pete Rose fan in the world, you know, and here I am. We're talking near mint, near mint. Look at that. I mean, I'd be happy as hell to have one of them, but I mean, my heart's still beating looking at this because I'm just like, I'm not being greedy or anything, but 4 of them, Jesus, look at that. Oh man, it's just crazy. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna move over here because I'm gonna get to the good ones before I get to some of the. All right, so we got some of these. I forget what you call these things. The commemorative all-stars or whatever, but some of these, they have some grit or dirt on them. They need to be cleaned off. It could be cleaned, but I'm not really worried about it. I got Ernie Banks, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays. Here's some. Okay, fellow baseball card aficionados, I'm back. Sorry, my camera only will record with the memory card only for like 8 minutes, so I have to stop it. Mickey Lolich, a couple of them, real nice, really fucking sharp. I mean, beautiful. Some of these I just might send to PSA. I mean, because it's stupid not to, probably, because some of these need to be need to find out for sure what they're grading. The Jim Cat not doing so well. And look, they're so stupid they can't spell his name right. It's K-A-A-T, dumbasses. Goddamn, what's your problems? See, they spelled it right on the back, but they didn't spell it right on the front. I bet he was pissed. He was like, "You motherfucking tops." Al Kaline, really nice condition. 2 of them. And Bill Freehan, he was pretty decent. At least he was a good catcher. He doesn't get too much recognition, but he was with the Tigers and they went to the World Series. Let's see. Yeah, and for my age, I know a lot about baseball, trust me. I know most people try to talk baseball with me, and they don't even know what I'm talking about. I mean, because I'm one of those people. My dad has taught me since I was a child about baseball, so I know more than a lot of people. And I'm not bragging. I mean, it's just a fact. I know a lot about baseball. Denny McLean, or Dennis McLean, however they want to say it. I quit getting into baseball for a few years, and then the last 5 or 6 years, I've been getting pretty heavy into it again. So I'm still Hoyt Wilhelm. Got 2 of them. Tommy John. I had to show that one because he's from about an hour away from where I live. Of course, you've heard of the surgery, Tommy John surgery. This was a nice find. I found 2 very, very sharp Luis Tiant rookie cards. Very great star from Cuba. And we got a couple of Richie Allen. I think this is his rookie, even though it has a trophy. He might have had a 64 top, so this might be his second card. It probably is his second card, but anyway, it's still very cool to find. You can't go wrong here. We got 2 65 tops Frank Robinsons in real nice condition. When you look at them, you can tell that this one's maybe just a little dirty, kind of. It's not as wide as it should be, but you know, it can be expected from some of these cards that were exposed. Oh, I found a Tony Perez rookie card, but it happened to have like a nice water blotch on it, you know, so it's probably in poor condition. And that's sad because that's a pretty important card from the set. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it with the glare and everything, but it does kind of have like a blotch on it. You can tell moisture had gotten to it. And being a huge Cubs fan, finding probably a Jim Mint, Billy Williams, you can't really cry too hard. Actually, we found 3 of them. 3 pretty nice condition. Easily every one of them is at least X+. Some of them close to near mint. Let's see here. We got some more Cubs. We got the late Ron Santo. I only found 1 of them, but you know, that's awesome because I don't think I had that one in my collection. I do have most of his cards, and I collect Ron Santo. Found 1 or 2 Ernie Banks. Here's one of them. I probably have another one in here somewhere. Found a Don Drysdale, and you know, the only card that I couldn't find that was worth anything from that set, I could not find Sandy Koufax, and to believe it or not, I bet you it's still at that place. I bet you, because my dad had every team organized. Another Ron Santo, I guess I found 2. And another Ernie Banks. And what I'm saying is, he had all the teams like kind of like rubber banded together. Unfortunately, he had the rubber bands really weak, and they didn't really do too much damage except for like maybe the outside card. You know, that's why a couple of these cards have like a little warpage. Like I showed you that Steve Carlton, I think it had a rubber band damage. You know, which just sucks. Lou Brock, and I couldn't find very many Dodgers cards, so there's still speculation that there's a Dodgers stack somewhere at that house. You know. So we may have some more cards to come for at some point. It's just going to be, if we find some Sandy Koufax cards, oh my god. Tony Oliva, I think that's his rookie card. Another Lou Brock. And what else we got here? Oh, I got to give a little shout out to Gil Hodges because these were found in his hometown. Gil Hodges. So y'all know I'm from Indiana, and the town that these were actually at was Petersburg, so which that's Gil Hodges. That's where he's from. Oh, another Tony Oliva. 3 Mel Stottlemyre rookies. One of them's not, it's got a little browning or something, but the others. I'm not even showing you guys through this camera. I'm over here. Hey, I did have another Bob Gibson. So, he did have a Bob Gibson. Okay. Almost through. I know you guys are bored. Baseball cards. No one cares about baseball cards. We care about comic books. Brooks Robinson. I mean, incredible condition. I can't even. Just Tony Caniglaro. Got 3 Tony Caniglaro rookies. There's another Brooks Robinson. 2 beautiful Carl Yastrzemskis. Oh, not showing them all the way. Sorry. I'm looking down at my camera and I'm not really paying attention. I'm showing these. So there's another Brooks Robinson. So I'm a terrible videographer here. Alright, these are the ones. Oh, that fell down, but who cares? These are the ones that oh, I'm already giving away hints here, man. These are the ones that my heart went crazy on. Okay. Alright. Everything's falling because here we go. Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron. Okay. Roberto Clemente. Bob Clemente. Yep. I only had one of them. Still a decent looking card, and I'm very happy to have it. Okay. Willie Mays. Probably a PSA 7. Willie Mays. Maybe a PSA 8. Maybe a 7. I don't know. You know, this one not as good as the other ones. Maybe a 6 or something, but not bad. Maybe even a little less, because it looks like it's a little dirty in a way, you know. It's not as wide as it should be. Okay, but here's the big one, guys. Here's the big one. Bam! Oh my God. Look. All of them pretty nice. Okay, this one. Oh, look at him. Mickey Mantle. I don't know what their grade is, but let's just say it's close to near mint. Close. Okay? No creases. Sharp corners. Maybe not as 100% white as it could be, but I don't know what these would grade, but still, I can't really cry or complain. Mickey Mantle, my favorite player. Pretty much everybody grew up in the 60s. So, anyway, guys, thanks for sticking with me and listening to my rambling. I've got more stuff to show, so later.